Are you ready to get your country back? Man, oh man. It was 2024 or something. The bills are still high. The rent is still too daggone high. The houses still cost too much. The people going crazy in the streets and crime is still running everywhere. And now we don't know what is going to happen next. But here's my version of the wrap up for 2024 and what we should look forward to in the future as far as our political concerns, my political aspirations, which of course now shift to 2028. As every 4 years, if I don't win, I will shift to the next one. And I'm always about moving forward. Now, three things I wanted to talk about. Of course, the obvious, the presidential race with Biden, Kamala, and Trump. I'll address that whole situation. Also, the media impact and its effect it had on the actual race, and also just the effect that it has on us in general. And I want to talk to you guys on how to sort through the truth when you look through today's modern media. And lastly, I want to talk about moving forward and what we should do post this new presidential, new international policy scenario that we'll be dealing with for the next 4 years and potentially beyond with future politicians, unless I get in, then all that's going to stop immediately. But that's a whole nother conversation. All right, so let's talk about this presidential race as my first segment of it. Of course, we're going to not really touch much on Biden. You know what happened with that. He wasn't doing too well. The Democrats pushed him out, and they got Kamala in. Of course, a lot of people were offended by the fact that she was installed, as some people say. But even though I am an independent, not a fan of the Democrats or Republicans, I actually am going to give a piece of defense for the Democrats on this. When you voted for Joe Biden 4 years ago, Kamala Harris was his vice president. You know for a fact that if Joe ever got sick or left this earth in the last 4 years, she was going to be your president. So I find that very disingenuous by you to say you didn't vote for Kamala Harris. You literally picked her to be the person that's going to be the president if your president passes away in the next 4 years. So don't tell me you didn't pick her. And if you're picking your president, if you don't look at their vice president and think, oh man, if something happens to him, that'll be my president, then I have to ask you, what's going through your brain when you're voting? Uh, uh, like what do you think's going on out here? Who do you think the vice president is? It's the second most powerful person on the planet. Yeah, did you know that? Yeah, handles the Senate, makes the final votes if there's any ties in Senate. Yeah, super powerful. Usually put in charge of international policy and the border. Super powerful. So for you to say I didn't vote for Kamala, that's just a bold-faced lie. And I'm gonna just be rude to you and say you're being childish, immature, and I think that is the weakest excuse for why you had a problem with Kamala. Her policies were bad. She's a terrible politician. She couldn't answer questions. She didn't know her information. She had no ideas. That's what you say about Kamala Harris. But the one baby thing I keep hearing, you didn't vote for Harris. Yes, you did. You picked Joe Biden and you picked him boldly with her name right in front of you. Biden Harris. You saw it, you picked it. You wanted her to be your president if he passed away. Stop lying to my face. So I'm a little angry about that when I hear that. You can tell I got a little attitude there. I really don't like that point. But besides that, you saw what she did, fell apart. She was terrible in interviews, couldn't talk for longer than 5 minutes without repeating the same thing. Hey, I grew up in a middle class family. It's okay, garbage, right? Of course, then we have Trump being Trump, but this is a more subdued Trump. I actually think that the money guys, I think they got to Trump a little more. Like last time, he was super loose and free, but now Trump is a little bit handcuffed. And that's why he's getting a lot of these guys that he's getting as like assistants so they can kind of be the wild cards for him. So, the Elon Musk and all these other guys that he's going to be picking for his appointments. Everybody's like, oh my God, these dudes are nuts. Well, he's doing that because last time he was perceived as being a crazy man. So what he's doing is he's putting crazy men in all the positions so they can do the crazy stuff and he can still be back, be presidential, maintain his standard. So that's what you're seeing with Trump. And don't be all happy if you are a Trump voter. Like, oh, he won Trump, world's going to be fixed tomorrow. No, it's not. The two major parties are still robbing us blind. We're still 37 trillion in debt, always going up every day. And they're still not going to follow through on any promise, seriously, that they made to you. Let me tell you something about what Donald Trump is going to do once he is in. Oh, he's going to make his moves on the border situation. He's definitely going to handle the deportations. He's going to make some adjustment with money and finances and jobs and taxes and things like that, the education stuff. But I'm going to tell you what, I would say you're going to see about a 30 to maybe 45% success rate with whatever Trump promised, what you think he's going to do. So if there's 10 things you like, oh, Donald Trump's going to do these 10 things, only 3 to 5 of them are going to happen. And I won't even say 5, 4.5. 3 to 4 of them are going to happen. That are going to happen, they're going to be done, no problem. But the other 6 things that you really wanted that was really going to fix your housing bills and make your food costs go down and solve the crime in the streets and the sicknesses and the mental issues in this country and the health problems, those 6 things are never going to pass. And it's the same thing with the Democrats. And this is what they've done to us every 4 years for the entire 49 years of my life. And I've been paying attention since I was 10 years old. So for 39 of these 49 years, I've been looked in the face by politicians, told they was going to do all this, and they never do it. And you know what they do? They blame the other side for not getting it done, even though both sides claim that they want it. How you want something and you want something, why can't y'all get it done? Because they don't want it done. That's why you need Carlin for president in 2028. So that's my feeling on the presidential race. Guys, just wait until he gets in on the 20th. I pretty much just told you what the next 4 years is going to be. He's going to go hammer on this deportation thing. He's going to go deportate. He's going to go after all the criminal guys to get them out of there. He's going to make a bunch of tax changes, a bunch of things to help the rich guys out. But the other 60%, he's not going to do. He's simply just not going to do it and say that the Democrats stopped him. And that's the same thing the Democrats do. They say, we can't do it because the Republicans stopped us, even though they claim to all want the same thing, but somehow can't agree. Been doing that for 50 years. I don't know about you guys. I'm not 50 years a sucker. I hope you aren't either. So be attention to that and look at what they're doing to you right to your face. My second issue I'd like to discuss is the media impact on this situation. You saw during it, I would say over the last 15 to 20 years, for some reason, news channels have picked a side. They're either super conservative or super liberal. Back when I was a young chap in my early teens, news channels actually gave both sides, especially channels like CNN and all of that. Man, I used to watch CNN during the war report days, during the 90s, during Desert Storm. They used to show us doing stuff wrong on CNN, like, oh, America messed up here. They used to show it, like honesty. You don't get that anymore in mainstream modern media. And of course, that's why you see on the internet now the podcasters, the vloggers. But of course, like anything in life that has money involved, it's going to be tainted with people who are coming with an opinion, people who are paid. My advice on how to deal with today's modern media: never just pick one source. Nobody can be trusted. Nobody can be trusted. You want to check out a conservative resource. You want to check out a liberal resource. You want to check out an independent resource that speaks on both sides. Maybe an independent who's more conservative, an independent who's more liberal. That's 4 resources. Your last resource, I want you to get online and I want you to Google verified news resources to corroborate what you are hearing amongst the cross of all those circumstances. What you are looking for, when I tell you to look for that range of information on a singular topic, look for that range, and I want you to look for the through line. What is consistent by every single one? What is consistent online? What is consistent by the conservative? What is consistent by the liberal? What is consistent by the independent? That is the actual truth. All that other chutzpah that they put on it and the spin they put on it, that's them playing games. The consistent triangular through line through those 5 things is the truth. And that is how you determine the truth in the internet age. Okay? Never use one resource. 5 resources of all varying from extreme liberal to extreme conservative and all in between, and then verify using your Google to get documentation to corroborate said through line. And that is the truth. And you can walk out the house and yell at people in their face. Okay? So if you want to know how to tell the truth in this modern time, because things are so confusing with the AI and all the madness and no, 5 resources, check the through line, that's the truth. So that's my opinion on the media, and that's how I want you guys to look at it from now on, going into 2025 and here on out, when you're dealing with media, not just in politics. I'm talking about in general. Watch your movies closer. Watch your TV shows. Watch your movie stars. Watch your hosts. They are all doing this. It is happening in your schools. It is happening at McDonald's in the back while they're making fries. Okay? This is how you tell the truth in life. Get resources from people you like, people that you don't like, people that you don't trust, people that you do trust, and then you find what is consistent between them. And that is the truth. And if somebody is completely inconsistent, that person's just a nut job liar. And we need to just send them to Guantanamo Bay for nothing but no charges and all waterboard. That's just that. No Trumpy. I guess that's like the Diddy version. No Trumpy. I guess that's what I'll say when I make dangerous sounding threats, which that was not a threat, even though there is a few people that need to go to Guantanamo Bay, no charges. Shout out to Mitch McConnell. Anyway, what we got going on here? Oh, yes, my last topic is how we are going to move forward, because people are losing their mind. They're running around. Oh, the world's going to end. He'll come drag people out the house. He'll put the military on us. Oh, they're going to do this. Oh, we going World War III. Let me tell you guys, this is all fear mongering as a point of positioning for control. Nobody wants to end the world. It's called mutually assured destruction. If one person fires, the world ends and we spend the next 200 years underground. Kim Jong-un don't want to spend the next 200 years underground. He don't want his kids and grandkids underground for 200 years. Vladimir Putin don't want his kids underground for the next, I know you don't want your kids underground for the next 200 years. You think Joe Biden wants his son that he just let go free underground for the next 200 years? None of them. The guy in Iran, none of them. They're not going to fire it. It is merely for a microphone on the international stage to be heard and respected. And also, if you don't know, their nuclear physicists in their country have nothing to work on. They have to leave and come to America. They have to leave and go to Europe because they're the only ones that can have nuclear weapons. So if you have a nuclear physicist that comes up in like Afghanistan, like in places like this, he can't go and work on nuclear physics in his country because we got him on some whole, well, y'all going to make missiles later and do what we did. Like basically projecting onto them. We're the ones that blew up somebody with the missiles, nobody else. But we projected on everybody else. And the people got to now come here. So we do a brain drain on other countries. And that's why you see this bitterness from other countries towards America and this resentment and this showboating of missiles. It's hot dogging and showboat. It's nothing but crossovers and Steph Curry threes. They ain't going to do nothing. And I want you guys to know that they're using it to scare you so you'll allow them to do whatever they want to you and never ask a question. But trust me, nobody wants to end the world. You can't find a single sane person, especially a person whose job is to think for millions of people. You think the leader of a country whose job is to think for anywhere from 10 to 300 million people isn't courteous and sane enough to worry about the end of the world? It just makes no sense to me. This man gets paid to think for millions of people. And this is every leader in the entire world. Show them their respect. Because you know what? I bet you don't think for millions of people when you think of things. It took me years to figure it out. I used to just think for myself. And then I started thinking for other people, and the world looks completely different. And that is how we move forward. Think for other people. Hold your politicians accountable. If they don't vote for what you want, you vote them out. You vote them out. You don't let them keep coming back and try again. I'm 49. It's been 39 years of them trying again. We're 37 trillion in debt. We're the brokest country in the history of the world. We are the deadbeat dad of the planet. And if you want to solve these issues, always come check out my social media sites, Tony24 for president, Tony28 for president, Carl Anthony for president. And I'm going to be running for president every 4 years from now until the day I'm dug in this dirt that stands beneath my feet. God bless America. God bless you. I hope you guys like me in my little tuxedo here. I got prissied up. I went to a wedding out here, so I figured I could look good for you guys to see how it would look in my press meetings. When I tell those jokes like, hey, I'm gonna lock you up. Pow. But anyway, you guys, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. You have a great incoming Christmas season and holiday season and a great new year. Be ready, guys, because even though things are going to change, they're going to remain much the same if we don't remain proactive and stay on top of all of our politicians next. God bless America. God bless you, your children, and your family, and your future. We are America. And remember, Tony 2024, Tony 2028, Tony 2032, and forever until we win this somehow when the regular man with the master plan can help the people. We go.